Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and it is... Look at that. I have missed that. It is so good to see you folks. I've been off the air for 2 weeks, right?
Couple weeks.
2 weeks. Always a little tough coming back from an extended vacation like that. You got to shave off the beard, shake off the rust, squeeze back into the suit, and talk about Joe Biden's debate performance. Now, before we get into the jokes, and they are jokes, I want to be clear from the very beginning what I think about Joe Biden. Little help?
I think President Biden has been an amazing president.
I'm one who believes Joe Biden has been a really fine president.
I'm convinced that Joe Biden has been a successful president.
Joe Biden has been a great president.
Yes, that. So, ditto. So, should he stay? Should he go? Who am I to recommend? I don't know what's going on in Joe Biden's mind. Something I apparently have in common with Joe Biden. The debate was 11 days ago, and everyone's still talking about it. And it's a shame because Joe Biden is a great president. And in the debate, yes, he's a great president. And in that debate 11 days ago, Trump proved once again that he is demonstrably a monster. He is a demonster. And keep in mind, Joe called for this debate. It's the earliest they've ever had a presidential debate. And going into it, all Joe had to do was allay people's fears that he was too old. But instead, Biden's shakiness allowed Trump to get away with 90 minutes of lies, racism, and weird golf brags, which is why a lot of people are saying this was the worst debate performance of all time. But I don't think that's fair. I think that Biden debated as well as Abraham Lincoln. If you dug him up right now. Now, what makes all of this worse, what makes all of this so painful, is how much Biden had been hyping himself up going into the debate. His campaign even started selling something called Dark Brandon's Secret Sauce, with the tagline, "Get yourself the same performance enhancers Joe Biden took before going on stage." Whatever is in Dark Brandon's secret sauce, evidently Joe Biden chose to drink it out of that chalice from Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. He chose poorly. Now, after the debate, Biden's team tried to put out the fire with a bucket of gasoline, telling reporters that the president's weak performance was because he had a cold. Ugh, I hate those summer colds where your voice gets hoarse and your brain explodes. Another issue was that during the debate, Biden looked a little less than fresh. But his aides had an excuse, taking full responsibility for the pale makeup. Pale makeup? You work for Joe Biden. Why do you even own pale makeup? He's already an 81-year-old Irishman. He's translucent. You staffers could read the New York Times through his skin, but I wouldn't recommend it because they're telling him to drop out. And they're not alone. After the debate, tons of people in the media and in his own party have been calling for Biden to drop out. So the president huddled with his wife, children, and grandchildren up at Camp David, where they urged him to stay in the race and expressed interest in getting more involved with the campaign, perhaps by talking with influencers on social media. Bingo, there it is, social media. Biden just has to go viral, which explains his new Middle East peace proposal. You got to give it that Haktua spin on that thing. Now, did you know it? You didn't know? You didn't know? No? Okay. Now, with his family behind him, it was time for damage control. Biden started by holding a meeting with Democratic governors where he addressed concerns about his health, stating he was fine, but then adding, "It's just my brain." Oh, good. It's just his brain, and that sound is just my sphincter clenching so tight, I think I just made a diamond. Then, just needed a little floor time, everybody. Then Joe assured the governors that he knows what went wrong, saying he needs more sleep. Yes, he is what experts call tie-tie. I guess you could say he's Sleepy Joe. To keep his energy up, Biden told the group that he now plans to stop scheduling events after 8 p.m. 8 p.m.? So the state dinners are all going to be early bird specials? Joe Biden is really going to go to bed before Tracker? Tracker, he'll find a candidate. Also, I might lie down again. That felt good.
Look nice.
Also, which 8 p.m., sir? East Coast, West Coast, Moscow? The world does not stop at 8 p.m. Is Kamala Harris going to have to clock in as night president? By the way, coming this fall from CBS, Night President. She keeps America safe after dark. Not to be confused with Night President, starring Tom Selleck as President Lancelot. I would watch that. I would watch that in a minute. On Friday, Biden tried to ease voters' concerns about his age by doing a primetime interview with George Stephanopoulos. And to look healthier, Biden turned his bronzer up to honey-baked. Stephanopoulos asked the debate performance, was the debate performance, a one-off?
Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It's a bad episode.
Wrong. When Grey's Anatomy did a musical, that was a bad episode. Okay? This took a year off my life. George then asked Biden about the worst-case scenario.
If you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
Actually, I don't think that's what this is about. I think that's what The Karate Kid was about. This is about democracy and nuclear war and, that stuff. Now, you might have noticed, if you're a keen-eyed viewer, that there was a part there where the leader of the free world said the word goodest. But according to the White House, no, he didn't. They demanded that ABC News change the transcript to read, "I did the good-as job as I know I can do." That correction makes even less sense. I'd like to know how that phone call went. Excuse me, the President of the United States never said goodest. And I demand that you fix this the possible as soon. So, seems like Joe's staying in the race. Today, the president proved his resolve by sending his doubters in Congress a letter. Yes, a letter. And if that doesn't work, he's going to follow up with a strongly worded telegram. I'm not going to stop, so stop. Ask your grandparents how telegraphs work. No. I'm just saying, it just occurs to me now. In the letter, Joe acknowledged that folks are worried, writing, "I have heard the concerns that people have. I am not blind to them." That's right. Biden is staring right at the concerns with both eyes opened. Can we see what that looks like? Yes. Here's the thing. 3 months ago at Radio City for this big benefit, I interviewed Joe Biden on stage. That night, he seemed ancient but cogent. But our politics have become so weird, I don't know what's the right thing to do here. And I think that this is actually a battle of two virtues. One of them is perseverance. Biden is famous for that. Here he is in North Carolina after the debate.
When you get knocked down, you get back up.
Obviously quoting founding father General Chumbawamba. And, yes, you fall down, you get back up. That's what you do. And we all know, no matter how old you get, you always get back up again. I mean, remember the commercial?
I've fallen. Now give me the nuclear codes.
Now, the competing virtue here, there's another competing virtue, and that is self-sacrifice. And self-sacrifice takes a particular kind of courage. And that is a courage I believe Joe Biden is capable of. I believe he's a good enough man, he is a good enough president to put the needs of the country ahead of the needs of his ego. And however painful that might be, it is possible handing leadership to a younger generation is the right thing for the greater goodest. Or good as, either one. We've got a good show for you tonight. My guests are Michael Douglas and CNN's Abby Phillip. But when we come back, we have puppies. Real puppies. Stick around.